Hello everybody, welcome back. I am excited today to talk to you about a TV series that I'm loving right now. It is a phenomenon of a show. It is not on a network. It is available exclusively, well, not exclusively. It has released on other streaming platforms too, but the best way to watch it is on the app itself. Developed and distributed by the studio that produces and distributes the show. It has been watched by millions so far. The producer says his goal is to reach 1 billion viewers. It is entirely fan-funded, accessible for free, and did I mention it's a phenomenon right now? Everybody's loving this show. I got news for you. I love this show too. Deserves all the praise it gets, and that show is The Chosen. Got no trouble. Walk on the water, whoa, on the water. I remember as a kid learning about Jesus from family and from church, and I remember seeing many movies and miniseries about Jesus. The good ones will show very important aspects of Jesus' life, with the crucifixion and resurrection emphasized at the end. Or sometimes the movie will end with the crucifixion and allude to the resurrection. But how about a series? Not just a mini-series, a full-length series, episode to episode, season to season, all about the life of Jesus on earth, covering the many different stories that took place during Jesus' time on earth. The crucifixion and resurrection will happen in later episodes in a later season. Now we have a series that is taking its time, telling the life of Jesus, telling many different stories from Jesus' time as listed in the Bible. The many miracles and great stories that took place during Jesus' time on earth. Emphasizing those little details. That's what producer Dallas Jenkins set out for, and that's what he has created now that he has started The Chosen. It started with a pilot episode to gain the first funds. A short film was released a few years ago titled The Shepherd, all about the wise men visiting the birth of Jesus. Rich in its details, use of slow motion, and had many powerful shots to ground you in the story, make you feel with the humans in the short film. When the short film ended, it cut to producer Dallas Jenkins using this short film as a pitch to gain funds for the first season. He took a jab at some of the recent Bible movie adaptations, while also stating that he wanted fan funding as he did not want to take this show through a network. He wanted creative control over the project, and he has proven thus far that giving him creative control was the right thing to do. The show is filmed as funded. It is expected to run 7 seasons, so far 8 episodes per season. The first season was funded, filmed, edited, and released, and the second season was released this year under the same process. Season 3 is almost done funding and will release as soon as next year. The producer Dallas Jenkins recently announced this week that a new episode is set to release in theaters. Because this series is taking its time telling the story of Jesus, it is giving us different perspectives in the process. We get to know the other followers of Jesus. It takes its time covering the many missions of Jesus before his main sacrifice in the crucifixion and resurrection that will happen in a later season. It covers each apostle, develops them as humans, shows us why they chose to follow Jesus, what drove them to leave their sinful habits of the past. It also shows the perspectives of those who questioned him, those who refused to follow him and saw him as a bad person. Each episode feels like a mini movie. I feel like I can turn the lights off, sit back like I'm in a movie theater, and let the episode play out. This is also not a show to binge watch. You want to let all the details of each episode sink in and think about each episode when it's over. If you haven't seen a single episode yet, I recommend watching 1 episode per day, maybe 2 episodes one day, 1 episode the next day. Leverage it out. Figure out what works best for you. Some episodes are a little over a half hour long, and some episodes are just under an hour long. Like reading the Bible. We're told to read it slowly, to understand each verse. Watch The Chosen slowly, to understand it and let it play out. The first episode shows Mary Magdalene and her struggles, with an amazing intro of Jesus at the end of the episode. When Simon Peter and Matthew step in, we see their struggles. Matthew has this little twitching issue. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but the actor playing Matthew does a great job regardless. My favorite episode of Season 1 was the 3rd episode, where 2 children are hiding and watching Jesus as he sets up a camp for himself. Jesus knows they're hiding out and watching, but he doesn't say anything. Then he eventually calls the children to step out and present themselves to him. Then later in the episode, the children bring friends over, and Jesus teaches the children. He teaches them lessons about life, and even teaches them about work and labor as he directs them to do work for him, putting the camp together and then putting it all in one place when Jesus is ready to leave. Jesus feeds them and gives them some gifts before he leaves. It's a wonderful episode, very loving. Season 2, again, the dialogue is conversational, not stagey, not too serious. We see more of the struggles that the apostles go through. Sometimes they're arguing, sometimes they're learning to work with each other as best they can as they introduce new apostles to the group. Jesus tells some jokes from time to time, shows his sense of humor, and again, each miracle gets emphasized, like the miracle when Jesus heals the broken arm of one man in a temple. I especially love the intro of Simon the Zealot. He is shown as having an active warrior persona. He consistently exercises and makes himself ready for battle at all moments. He carries a big blade, bigger than this one. Some people even argue with Simon the Zealot, saying that they don't like his active warrior persona and he should tone it down. And Simon the Zealot doesn't like that. Season 2 ends with Jesus giving a major sermon, but it doesn't show the sermon. It cuts off right before he gives it. The season, at least the final episodes of the season, mainly show the struggle to get the sermon to take place. One episode shows Jesus getting arrested while the apostles figure out what to do. Should they fight for Jesus, or should they trust in Jesus with their faith? Needless to say, Jesus gets released and returns to them just fine, ready to keep the preparation going for the sermon. When I look at this show, I see that this director has God working within him, as many miracles are taking place in order to make this show a success. It's drawing in a great following, and I'm happy to see how successful this show has become. Every Bible adaptation has its share of protesters. There are protesting groups calling blasphemy and sacrilege on The Chosen. There are right ways and wrong ways to hold on to the Bible. Some people hold on to Scripture the wrong ways, to the point that they don't want to see anything from the Scripture adapted for the screen. They will make claims against these adaptations that have nothing to do with the adaptations themselves. See my past videos on Jesus Christ Superstar to learn more on that. When filmmakers adapt Bible stories for the right reasons, they share their faith. They are presenting visual presentations that resonate with the Scripture, that celebrate their faith and our faith in God and the Scripture. They are also trying to introduce and encourage others to read Scripture. Have faith. Watch it with your faith and apply your faith as you watch. See the faith presented on screen from producer Dallas Jenkins and from the entire cast and crew on The Chosen. The Chosen stands with the best Bible adaptations as an excellent, faithful work of art. Have you been watching The Chosen? What do you think of the show? Let me know in the comments section. Like and share if you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. Hit the bell if you want notifications. I am creating for you. Have a great week and a great life, and always love yourself for who you are. God bless, Godspeed.